Hey, Owen. My name's Natalie. I'm from Georgia. And I just wanted to call because I saw the videos you made recently about David on TikTok.
For context, I believe she's talking about... The fuck's his name? David Latting. I believe she's talking about David Latting. I did a video on him recently. I'll pop a picture up right here on screen for those of you who don't remember. Let's keep listening.
I wanted to say that I do sort of know him. He goes to my sister's church. And one of the things she said in your video was about you weren't quite sure what denomination he was. And I could just let you know he is Baptist. My sister has said some pretty strange things about him. Apparently, the church isn't a cult, but he acts really culty and, like, actively shames people in the church for not being religious enough, even though he's just, like, a kid, basically. He feels, like, really called to preach. Apparently he's one of the more intense people in the church and makes a lot of people really uncomfortable. So I just thought I'd share the information that I knew with you. It was great talking. Bye.
I appreciate that. That's really interesting. For those who don't remember, let me just show you a quick clip of this guy.
How much do you have to hate the people around you to say nothing about hell?
I get shamed for spreading the gospel by my own Christian friends. I get shamed by many people I don't know on the other side of the screen. But let me tell you right now, bring it on, bro. Bring it on. I'm not gonna stop. I don't care about your words. They're nothing. They're nothing. But God's words are everything, and I will not stop sharing them. Come at it, man.
Somebody taught him this stuff. I don't know who. Maybe his parents. He was using a lot of really common and intense logical fallacies and information control and thought control ideas that are spread, memes that are spread through churches like that. So he may not be from an extreme church, but somebody in his life turned him that way. I have to wonder if it kind of got away from the person that was teaching him to be that extreme, and they themselves aren't. I don't know. Kind of interesting. But I appreciate the voicemail. Of course, we have to treat this with a level of skepticism because, you know, it's unverified. But it's interesting either way. You know, if it's true, it would be an interesting fact to know that this guy was from a less extreme church.
Hey, sorry, I've left multiple voicemails before. You don't have to listen to all of them. But today, this is my first day back at school, Catholic school, and my teacher gave us an essay to write about basically a debate over whether homosexuality is, like, ethical or, like, okay or not, which is such a stupid thing because obviously it's completely not tied to morality at all, just like any sexuality. And, like, I'm gay, and everybody in my class knows I'm gay. And so I got pissed at the teacher. I came home. I was really distraught. My mother said that I could switch schools, but it's my senior year. But I just don't... It's... Do you think it's sensible to switch last minute like that just for the sake of my own mental health? And to be able to be at a Catholic school? Like, I've never been to a public school in my life. I don't know if that sounds crazy or this is stupid. I probably should not have called. Good day.
I appreciate that. I can tell in your voice that you are distressed by the situation. Let me just put this out there. Your mental health is worth anything. If you need to switch schools to preserve it, then do it. I wish that Catholic schools didn't have the latitude that they do to basically say anything they want with no repercussions at all. They can say anything. Just like with homeschooling, you can tell them anything. As long as they can basically pass state testing, it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit if they're teaching that evolution is fake or that being gay is wrong or any of that shit. As far as switching schools, as I said, your mental health comes before all else, period. If you feel that you need to switch schools, then do it. Public school and private school, generally, speaking, operate in pretty much the exact same way. I mean, it depends on the schools and things like that, but for the most part, you know, you have your periods and you have your lunch and your different classes and your different teachers. It all kind of comes together in a similar way. So it wouldn't be a terribly big culture shock, I would be willing to bet. Again, I don't know which school you're going to, so I can't say if it would be or not. But I would venture to guess it wouldn't be a massive culture shock if you switched. With all that being said, my advice would be to stick it out until the end. But I obviously don't know where your head is at after having to deal with something like that. You're the only one that can come to that determination, whether or not it's a good idea for you to switch. I would say making it to the end would be ideal, but if you have to get out, you have to get out, and nobody would blame you for that. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Really, I am. I hope that things get better.
Hi, Owen. This is Master G from Alabama again. Have you heard that people are taking horse medicine to counter COVID? These nutterbutters are actually taking horse medicine.
Okay, I gotta say, absolutely love the use of the word nutterbutters there. On point. Absolutely on point. I heard that term on David Pakman recently, and I've been trying my hardest to work it into my vocabulary. Although I recognize that it's an insult, and I have a policy against insulting generally, so I try to use it sparsely, but I do love that term.
They're against the vaccine, but hey, taking horse medicine is fine. Mississippi alone, 70% of their poison control calls have been about horse medicine. What's your thoughts on that? Still love your show. Bye.
Appreciate it. Actually, it's even worse than that. I mean, check this shit out. I found this article on apnews.com, the Associated Press. It's an AP article titled Anti-Parasite Drug Used on Arkansas Jail's Inmates for COVID. Holy shit. They are actually using ivermectin, this horse medicine, to cure or treat or prevent, I don't know, COVID, for prison inmates. What information could they have given the prison inmates that would have allowed them to make an informed decision about this? There is no informed decision with prison inmates. I have news for you guys. Some of you probably know this already. Prison inmates are legally considered slaves. They're slaves. Slavery was not abolished in the United States. Slavery was abolished except for prisoners. It's specifically, explicitly mentioned in the amendment to the Constitution that banned slavery. Slavery is banned in the U.S., except for prison inmates. They use them as slave labor all the time. It's fucking disgusting. I just want to put that on record. But I wanted to just glance at this article real quick. These slaves were incapable of making an informed decision for themselves because they're cut off from the outside world. They're cut off from any information, really. They have no ability to make decisions for themselves. They have no rights to make decisions for themselves either. Let's give the article a read and see what it says here. Inmates at a Northwest Arkansas jail have been prescribed ivermectin to combat COVID-19, despite warnings from federal health officials that the anti-parasitic drug should not be used to treat the coronavirus. Ivermectin is actually an anti-parasitic drug, as it mentions here. It's not just horse medicine. They also have human doses that takes care of lice and some other parasites, ticks maybe. I have to assume, I have to hope they weren't giving them the horse variety. I hope they were actually giving them the human variety, the human dosage. Either way, why? Why would they do this? My God, what's the point? There's no evidence to suggest that ivermectin does anything for the virus. This is another hydroxychloroquine situation. There was no evidence to indicate that hydroxychloroquine would help. Originally, scientists were speculating, suggesting maybe we should look into this, and they were doing studies on it, and Trump jumped the gun and decided to promote it without having the evidence he needed. And now that he's promoted it, he has to dig his heels in and insist that it works. People taking fish tank cleaner and stuff, the fish tank version of hydrochloroquine, because Trump told them that it would cure them. But it gets even worse than that. You guys know Glenn Greenwald. I don't know if you've heard of this guy before. He was a progressive. He was actually really, really good. He's a reporter. I think he started The Intercept, the news network, The Intercept. He's the one that broke the Prism article, like the Prism story. You guys remember back in the day, Edward Snowden? This was the guy that Edward Snowden gave the information to, all of the NSA documents and stuff that revealed that the NSA was like spying on everybody. This is the dude on the right here who broke that story. He was a progressive hero for a while. He was really, really good. But he went on Fox News, not this time that we're about to watch, but recently, he went on Fox News to talk about Afghanistan and his support for Trump. This is another appearance on Fox News that he made about ivermectin, and I wanted to give this short clip a watch. This clip's actually from another channel. They added some edits in, but I couldn't find the Fox News clip outside of it, so we're going to watch this one. Check it out.
Ivermectin, that's the current debate. It's a therapeutic that many are saying is somewhat of a miracle drug.
So what this guy did here by saying many are saying, listen again.
It's a therapeutic that many are saying is
many are saying. Those are called weasel words, where you're not citing any sources. Who are these many that he's talking about? Those are weasel words, and that's a problem. When people say many are saying, you should automatically distrust.
That many are saying is somewhat of a miracle drug. Perhaps, we'll see if it works out in treating COVID-19. But even the idea of ivermectin, Glenn, is totally pushed off of social media. I mean, you will get banned, you'll get red flagged. Brett Weinstein, for example, has had his podcast almost kicked off of YouTube for even considering that ivermectin could be a good potential therapeutic.
That's because there's no evidence. There is no evidence that ivermectin can be used as a treatment for COVID. What are these people thinking? This is so fucking irresponsible. Like the voicemail caller said a minute ago, like 70% of poison control calls were because of ivermectin in one specific state. What is wrong with that? And what's wrong with Brett Weinstein? What is he fucking doing right now? Are you kidding me? What is he doing? He is so destructive by doing things like this. What was he thinking? Seriously. Let's keep listening.
Good potential therapeutic. Now today, it's announced the University of Oxford is testing ivermectin as a possible treatment for COVID-19.
Yeah, obviously. Of course they are, because people are claiming that it is a cure for it. They did the same thing with hydroxychloroquine. They need a study to show people that they're full of shit, that it's not helpful, or to show that it is helpful, one of the two. They need the scientific evidence because guess what? It's not there right now. We have no evidence for it. People shouldn't be promoting this or taking this until the evidence is there. The fact that Oxford is doing a study right now on it should tell you it's premature. What the fuck are you doing? Let's keep listening.
I can't help but avoid the idea, Glenn, that these stories are connected. It's all coming back to some sort of mind control. Why can we not even consider possible alternatives to, I guess, what is endorsed by Big Pharma?
Oh, we can consider possible alternatives, but we need the science in place. We need the information, the knowledge, before we just start telling people to go out to their local fucking farming store and buy horse dewormer and start taking it. What are you thinking? My God, this is fucking crazy. Oh yeah, and this is the part where Glenn Greenwald, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, guy who broke the Edward Snowden story, progressive hero, stands behind Fox News. Ready?
I think you put your finger on exactly the point. When you say that some people say this is a potentially effective treatment,
by some people, what you're referring to are medical doctors and scientists.
No, No, he's not referring to anybody. He said some people. Those are weasel words. And I'm guessing Glenn Greenwald probably knows that, which is why he zeroed in on that one phrase that the guy used.
As credentialed as anyone, including Dr. Fauci.
Who? Please, give me names. Write them down. Give me their credentials, and we will hash it out. We'll figure this out. It's sad and it's disturbing, and I honestly don't know how to stop people from getting themselves killed.